not present in class today, but I'll be presenting this paper, Evaluating What Others Say, the Effect of Accuracy Assessment in Shaping Mental Models of AI Systems. It is currently being presented in CSCW conference. The agenda of the discussion is to look at the critiques mainly to look at the critiques that this paper has posed towards the mental models. And secondly, is to discuss how they improved upon these shortcomings, or some of these shortcomings. Fun fact, this paper was released last week, so that's also one of the reasons we selected this paper, is because it's extremely new. And the critiques, it presents a good summarization of the critiques that are available within the community on mental models. This paper describes the mental model as a user's knowledge of the components of a system, how these components interact with each other, and how this knowledge enables the users to construct reasonable actions and validate how certain actions are appropriate through explanations. The main aim of a mental model is to perform three tasks. One is to improve user experience, second is to aid decision making, and third is to improve task performance. As I mentioned before, this paper is extremely new, so the critiques that this paper offers is a summarization of the critiques that supposedly exist in the community. One is that mental models are misaligned. That is, previous works have shown how a user's mental models don't always align with the explanation that they provide. Mental models are often inflexible, that is, especially in explainable AI, when we're providing explanations, the research has shown that unless for an extremely specific case or something that is extremely specific scenario, is when mental models might shift. But for most generalized cases, users' mental models do not change with explanations, and they're extremely hard to change. This is a popular paper that talks about how mental models are inaccurate, they're contradictory, they contain errors, and they're unnecessary concepts. Sometimes this error or this unnecessary concept can also lead to believing that AI performs better than humans, and this kind of belief system is being included because of the user's mental models. You also see that mental models can often be presumptuous. For example, in this paper, they show how certain users develop mental models of systems that they don't even interact with. For example, they took the example of a robot that many users might have not interacted with the robot, but through information that is available within the media, they already develop mental models. And this development of faulty mental models can lead to false judgments, where users become hyperfixated over certain heuristics. For example, in this paper, they looked at text, that certain users became fixated only with certain details on text that appeared more like human, which caused AI to manipulate and falsify responses. Uh, mental models can also cause over reliance, that is, especially if misleading information that can lead to believing misinformation, that can lead to spread of misinformation. Mental models also cause mistrust between AI and humans, where humans can trust erroneous information that is given by AI and can also not trust the correct information that is given by AI. And such faulty mental models can also cause lower productivity and accuracy, which further leads to frustration with the technology and not using of the technology. Another big issue with mental models is its reliance on social information. Now, we look at social information as when a user's own mental model is influenced by other users' mental models. Social information can also be looked at as a form of shared mental model, which allows users to team up and share the knowledge and improve performance. Given in our class, we've been asked to break out into tasks. We look at websites, and in that, while we all come with our own mental models, we're able to share our information. And that is a good thing because it does lead to an improved performance. the bad part about such a social information or a shared user model is that it can be inaccurate, it can be incomplete, it can be biased, it could be outdated, limited, and culturally different, because often these shared information models become echo chambers and there is less of exploration outside of these shared information models. And this social information or the negatives of the social information seep into a user's mental model, which is a shortcoming. They improve this reliance on social information using validation. Their hypothesis is that if the users are given ability to validate and reconfirm the response and facts that they receive from other users' mental model, they are likely to improve their own user model and perform better. To do so, they conducted a case study in which they had a goal-oriented flow assistant. Since this paper was by IBM researchers, this was one of their patented technologies, but they were able to show it on different technologies as well, where a non-tech to a very limited technology role is given. They're supposed to create a flow diagram, and one task, such as a service now created, and a ticket can is then initiated into a Slack message, which is then triggered into sending an email to a lot of people. Um, this was their experiment workflow, in which they had a diverse set of participants from different industries. They were initially first given a playground where they were allowed to develop their own mental models. They were then given a survey and then given social information. Now, this is how the task looked like, where they had the flow of what a previous participant that they did not have access to performed, and what that participant's mental model consisted. This is the social information that they receive. Now, there are three types of this social information. That was global behavior, local behavior, and knowledge distribution. Global behavior consists of any abstract or knowledge of the system as a whole. For example, if I were to put on Google, if I were to search, if the user would say, hey, I enter the link and I click search. That it would be an example of a global behavior. Local behavior would be information about a particular task instant. So for example, if I have to say, I want to search about dogs. So I would open up, the user would say that, hey, I have opened up Google and I'm typing about dogs. That would be instance of a certain single interaction. Knowledge distribution would be how this system interacts with what kind of knowledge does the system contain, and how that knowledge is used to perform a certain task is called knowledge distribution. Coming back to the experiment, now each user was divided either into validation condition, social information condition, or control condition. In the validation condition, they contain the social information, that is information about the people. Then one of the information is about global behavior, local behavior, knowledge distribution. They contained a validation task, which, as I showed in the previous example, previous image, that it took the order of the sentence. This was the validation task, that is whether they believe that the task was how much they agreed with the previous user's tasks, and a collaborative comment. Similarly, for social information, they didn't have a validation task, and for control condition, they were only allowed to interact. They were not given any social information. The results were that of the validation process was that there was a positive impact on whenever validation was used, there was a positive impact on the development of accurate mental models. This also led to increased participants' confidence in their judgments about the accuracy of the social information. And finally, even out of all the three tasks, that was global behavior, local behavior, knowledge distribution, the knowledge distribution task was the easiest for the participants to validate. Finally, coming to the questions, rather a discussion question this time. The paper has discussed of the issues with social information as a mental model on how using validation, they were able to improve the performance in a shared information mental model. This is a form of feedback-based improvement. Given the fact in the start of the presentation, we discussed these issues that come with mental models, that they are misaligned from explanations, they're inflexible, they're not accurate, they're contradictory, they contain errors, it's an unnecessary concept, and they're also presumptuous. Which of them could be improved by feedback by humans or by having humans in the loop? So, thank you.